Bitcoin is currently crashing and it's pushing down against some floors of support. And I think we might bust through those floors and see some continued downside. And then we might trade in very volatile range within a range for a little bit until a couple things happen. I'm going to tell you today some other things that you can do in the meantime while Bitcoin is up or down, as well as some information when I think it might actually rebound. Now, before we get into that, remember every single day in crypto is an adventure. So please, my humble request to hit the subscribe button so you can follow me along this adventure and this journey. Remember, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And if you choose to do that, that's up to you. Make sure you do your own research before you get into anything that I talk about, but do it because you want to. With that being said, let's take a look to see where Bitcoin is right now. So Bitcoin is currently at about 83 and change, and it's busted through one of my floors of support at around 84. And, we've wicked down past that. We haven't really closed a candle past that in a little while. But we were on this ascending wedge, and then it busted through that. This is on the daily candle. And right now we're playing with that $84,000 mark. And so if we close a candle below that, I believe we have a lot of downside potential, probably in the 70s. This whole area right here in the 70s that is potential. I don't think it's going to go much below 70, but that's a guess at this point, because there is a lot of pressure. Now, that being said, this zone right here, if we get into this zone, there's a lot of buyers in that zone. So I do feel like potentially we're going to stay above that 70 realm unless something catastrophic or outside the norm happens. But we are going to be range trading, and I don't think we're going to bust up to new highs until a couple things happen. I've realized that a lot of the pump that's happened year to date was based on words, not necessarily actions. The actions are starting to come. We've seen more regulations be moved out of the way. SAB 121. We've seen the Office of the Comptroller, the OCC. We've seen them come out with rules saying, look, banks, you can custody crypto. We've seen the Crypto Summit and all these new cryptos are David Sachs, the Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent. All these people are pro-crypto. But the legislation hasn't been put in place. Yes, there's been executive orders, and the biggest action was making sure that Bitcoin didn't get put, that 200,000 Bitcoin that the U.S. holds is not put out for sell pressure into the open market. So that's good. There's like $18 billion of Bitcoin that won't be sold. That's pretty bullish, and that's an action. But there's a lot of institutional buying, but the retail buyers have fled for the most part. And the more trending on search right now is Bitcoin crash, not how do I buy Bitcoin. So there's a lot of things that are set up, and I think the rest of the year, the later in the year looks really, really strong based on a lot of information we talked about yesterday and other videos in the past. But right now in the short term, it's probably going to flirt with this $70,000 range. And, what is the market waiting for? The market's waiting for cheap money. The market's waiting for this legislation and clear path. This cheap money, this is December 10th Fed meeting of this year that hasn't happened. It's, 8-9 months away. But they're predicting there to be 75 basis points less to the federal funds rate. That'll help bring in cheap money. I think this will change over time as we see unemployment pop up. So really, it's the macroeconomic news that's going to drive this. And so that macroeconomic news, jobs report, job openings, that's a big one on Tuesday. We got consumer price index, that's inflation numbers. That's out on Wednesday. PPI, producer price index, and core PPI is Thursday, as well as initial jobless claims. A big week for reporting. Now, in the meantime, what can you do? Well, if you're a buy and holder like me, but I also trade and to keep things exciting and interesting, but B, as a way to make other money. What do? I trade on BTCC. BTCC has been around for 13 years, so they've a little bit of time in the industry. They have lots of reward signups. They have hundreds of cryptos, as much as 500x on leverage. Now, leverage trading is very risky, very, very risky. I don't recommend it if you don't have any previous experience or understanding. You will get wrecked. You will lose your money if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're going to leverage trade and you want to try it out, BTCC is a great place, but make sure you get some education. This isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to do this, but if you're going to do it, I have a link down below to BTCC. Well, if you're not comfortable trading yourself, you might want to look at something like EasyBot. EasyBot is software that uses your exchange. So you don't give them money and say, hey, trade this for me. You use your exchange. I use Kraken in the United States. That you can, if you're outside the US, you can use Binance. You can use some other ones, but I like Kraken. So I have my money, my accounts on Kraken, and this is just software that you hook up through a secure API, and that API will send buy and sell signals to your exchange on the spot market for these things. So there's a lot of different kits here. I have a sign up below, and you can do a 45-day free trial. You'll get 2 bots to set up. I have lots of videos on these, so you can go back, look at prior videos. It's set up so it doesn't have losing trades. Now, I haven't lost money in trades on that. If I decide to close out of a trade early, I could lose money, but it won't trade until the trade is profitable. And it buys more on the way down at a certain algorithm, and it sells on the way up. And I've done very, very, very well. You can go back and look at this. I've been doing it for over 2 years. It's been out for 3 years. It's been doing very well. There's 2 free bots you can get for 45-day free trial. I like EasyBot. It's done very well for me. And then if you're not comfortable with setting up your own exchanges and APIs, they have a lot of information for you to follow and do it yourself. But if you want someone else to do it for you, there's Pionex. Got a link down below to Pionex US. And same thing, you actually put your money in there, and there's bots you can set up. It's very easy. You can do copy trading bots. Now, you can lose money in this. This one you definitely can lose money in, but it's not leveraged. And so there's a lot of positive ways to use Pionex. I mean, literally you can put your money in there, transfer it from another crypto account in USDT. You can trade Bitcoin and USDT. You can trade Bitcoin versus Ethereum and work on that spread. So lots of ways to make money in a sideways market. Now, do I think the market's going to be sideways? I think we're going to go down. I think, this is my opinion, not financial advice. Again, I got to stress that. But I think we still have some movement down. I mean, if you look at the liquidation charts, I'll tell you the manipulation right now and the incentive for these, because there is a lot of leverage being used, but the incentive for some of these exchanges to manipulate are high because they don't want to pay out these things, even though they make money on the spread and on the trade and on the lending side of it. These are all shorts to be liquidated. So it looks like the market has room to go up to liquidate these shorts. But, right now I just see Bitcoin testing here because it's played with all the news. You can't get any more bullish on the news that's been out about Bitcoin. It just doesn't get any more bullish, yet it hasn't pumped. And so I still think that we have a little room to go down. Now, just by me saying that, it's probably going to go up. So you're welcome for those people. But right here, there's still some room to run down. And it might bounce off one of these things and shoot back up. But right now, I'm a little worried about the short-term market. Long-term, still super bullish. That being said, again, let me just do a quick recap. BTCC, if you're looking to do leverage trading. EasyBot, if you want to trade on an algorithm with trading bots, hooked to your exchange where you hold your money in your exchange. And then Pionex, if you just want to send money in there and copy trade, copy someone else's accounts and trade, there's that too. So a couple other options to try to make money in crypto in a sideways up or down market. If you think the market's going down, you can short the market through BTCC. If you think it's going to go up, you can long it or use the trading bots. If you think it's going to trade sideways, again, the trading bots are a potential way to go. That's all I got. Hope you got some value out of this today. If you did, leave a comment down below. If you're not a subscriber, you made it this far, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. I will see you next time.